Hello, hello. Wait.
Hello.
Happy Sunday. Oh, wait, we should probably do this show.
A little better.
So maybe we want to start. Where's my name? Okay, never mind. Um, what are you reading?
I am reading Glow by Raven Kennedy. So on my Kindle here. And I'm also reading that the Duke I Like to F anthology right now too as well.
Hmm. And I know you're liking the Duke I'd like to F1, but how are you liking Glow?
Good. It's I had to do a quick watch somebody's like review of the first two because I forgot. I read it like a year ago. All three, first three.
Uh,
So it's good so far. The pacing's a little slower in this one, but now I think it's getting I'm at the 65% mark. It's getting some more action started, so it's good. I love the series, so
yeah, I think about starting it, but I've started so many series that I haven't finished. Like I was gonna do a video about them, and it's like literally 2 pages worth of series I haven't finished. So, I literally just finished this book. Like I told you when you came on, I was like literally just taking my headphones off. So I'm not really reading anything right now. Um, I started 2 novellas because I wanted to try a chapter of each yesterday, and one was Never Getting Ogre You. And then
no, that's right.
and then,
There it is. Yeah, there it is. That's where my name is. There it
oh, okay, okay.
is.
And then the other one was something by Zoe Draven. I can't remember the name of it. Hang on. My dog's barking, of course. And then we'll get started. Yeah, I
Hi,
am.
Morgan.
All right. Should we
Yeah,
start?
I finished this one this morning actually. So in like 2 or 3 sittings. So I'm actually proud of myself for that one.
Okay, so since you finished first, what was your rating?
I'm tossing between like definitely not a 5 star for me, but I think it's probably gonna be a 4 star.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I felt like it was more secondhand. The relationship was more too much of a second person perspective that I felt like it was just everybody else is witnessing their romance versus them ac them actually getting to understand, be part of the romance. You know what I mean? Like them together, like so
Okay.
that you could. I don't know how else to explain.
Yeah,
But
I understand what you're saying because I just finished it. Morgan, I'm jealous that you're reading this right now, but I'm so behind in the series. I've only read like the first 3 books in this Juliet Cross series. I'm like way
yeah,
behind.
I've only read the first one. Yeah, I can only. It was something that I'm like I have to read it during like September of October.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was really cute. It's like a cute rom-com fantasy romance, paranormal.
So I didn't hate this book. I really didn't like it either.
I know. I'm like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. So I liked it, really liked it. So probably 4 star.
Yeah. I'm like in the 2.5, 3, but since I don't do half
Oh,
stars,
okay.
I'm gonna go like 3 stars.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause that's what I was like. I'm toying between 3 and 4, so I have no idea. I haven't even rated it yet on Goodreads, so I'm sure I'll.
I think, like you said, there's just way too much of James and George in this book for it to be a book about Amy and Warren. Like it's not their book. It feels like James and George's book again.
Experience. And it was kind of funny, like in hijinks and like the shenanigans that Amy does, but it's more of I wanted their relationship. And I like the family aspect, but it was way too much of that aspect. I like especially with Warren, he had such a hurt, like some trauma history that you could have delved more into that as a character. So that's also probably why I'm a character. I like action in my books, but at the same time, I like to be with the character. So
Hmm. Well, and that's the thing. I have no idea why Amy even liked him. He showed up one day 6 months ago and she was like, that's my guy. That's the one I'm going to marry. And she was only 17 and she's still, does she turn 18 in this? Because she's still 17, right? Like, I know
yeah,
she's 2 weeks away.
18. She turned 18 when they were first together. Like she was a week away from being 18.
Yeah, they kissed before she turned 18.
Correct. Yeah.
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 And
It
then
was
I was
because
like, does
the
time
way he
pass
made
that
her
much? Because I don't
feel.
remember.
It was because he made her feel something.
He gave her pants feelings. So she's
Yeah.
like, oh, he's the only one for me. I feel like she was too like one sledgehammer away from being Annie Wilkes from Misery too. Like she's like a little bonkers about needing him to marry her that she's like almost in that psycho territory. like
Like she
I
came on so strong.
she's so relentless and he doesn't even want to be with her up until the last 30 seconds of this book. Like in the last 30 seconds, he's like, let's get married. And I was like, but then he doesn't even know why. He just feels like worn down. like she's worn him
I
down enough.
She's really born now. Yeah.
I was, I don't know. I had a big, I know it's an age gap. And you know me, I don't like love age gaps to begin with. Like, and I think this is the big reason why I don't like them. He calls her little girl. He sees her as a little girl. He's like, I'm too old for you because you're so young and naive. And she is. So
Yeah.
like I don't see her as an adult. She's a petulant
Right.
child through this entire thing.
I don't know, what was it like and it was funny because everyone else wouldn't believe her. I'm like taking her seriously. They think she's joking. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they think
no,
she's joking.
she's not joking.
And it's because of the way she says it, right? She's like, oh, nope, he's the one. I'm going to marry him. And I'd be
Just
like,
so
yeah, right. If I was her sister or brother, I'd be like, uh-huh, sure. Okay, Amy.
yeah.
I kept waiting for the kidnapping. like, where's the
And then
kidnapping
did
at?
and did it happen? It did happen.
It did have a kidnapping in it. And I will say, I'm okay with it. That was a great thing about the book. That was 1 star right
Yeah.
there.
When that happened, I was like, oh, there's the kidnapping. Check mark.
Check cross going off.
Oh my goodness.
That was the good part of the book. But then, it has a lot of the language about Chinese people and stuff. You really have to like, oh,
It's hard
and
to
then
figure it
I
in.
I can't remember this being said in the previous books, but I totally forgot somewhere someone said that in this book it says James owned a very successful plantation in the
Yeah.
West Indies. And
Hmm.
I don't know if that was said in previous books, but it totally just like glossed over it in previous books. And then when it was said in here, I was like, ooh, it gave me the ick, like real quick.
Yeah, because it was in the West Indies is where his plantation was, I think. So yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think
Yeah.
that was a gosh, that oh gosh, what was it called? That link you sent me of the podcast, that's what it's called.
Yeah,
That
yeah. It was
podcast
in
was really interesting when they're talking about Gentle Rogue.
yeah, yeah. And I
And
didn't
then
remember
yeah,
it in Gentle Rogue. Like I didn't either I just didn't hear it when I was listening to the audiobook or whatever, but it's definitely one of those you're
it was
like,
towards the end. Yeah.
ooh, maybe we'll just take that in another way. Like, I know this is historical romance. It's just not cool today. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and then how did you feel about the beginning? Because like the first 5 chapters, Amy and Warren weren't even in it. at all. Like, I think the book could have started on chapter 6. Like,
Yeah.
after George has the
Again.
baby,
Hmm.
it's James and George like talking about the baby and having the baby, and her brothers are coming and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
that
then
gets
and then
yeah,
Jeremy, oh no, who is that? Who is James's son? Jeremy
Jen. Hmm.
is talking to his friends about how Amy has blossomed overnight. That was gross because it's their cousin.
I know that's this seems to be a running theme in these books.
There was just a lot of ick. There was a lot of ick things for me. I did like the carriage robbery. That was like another check. Like carriage
And
robbery.
he totally didn't believe her either. That's what was happening. Or
I
she's
know.
just like nonchalant, like, yeah, which is this is what's happening. But yeah.
Okay, my note for that was, oh my God, another carriage robbery where the man can't keep his pistol in his pants.
Oh god.
Just like,
Put that thing away. You know. Oh goodness. Oh be anyone that.
it's like, we don't want to die. Put your pistol away. Anyways,
Oh goodness.
there was a lot of things that I liked about it. It was just the whole relationship. I didn't buy. And I don't believe that they would be together forever either. Unless unless she locks him up. She might chain him to the bed.
That's funny.
I don't know. What did you like most about it? Because you liked it more than I did.
I think just the see what I hated most about it, I still liked about it, which is weird because it was the it's an oxymoron over here. But it was like the like just the banter back and forth. Like there's more of that, like James and Anthony, and then with Warren. And I thought it was really funny, like when Warren was at the ballroom. Like normally you would be. That was part of why I was like, I wish you could have more of the interaction between the two main characters, but you're seeing that whole interaction on James and Anthony's perspective of basically Warren giving her such a dark, like hateful look and angry look, and
Mm-hmm.
then intervenes in that whole thing. And that's when they start to realize, hey, there's something going on here, and that whole thing. But I thought it was funny when they tried to basically start a brawl at the ballroom in that side room. But um,
Yeah.
so that back and forth banter I still liked, but at the same time, I'm like, there's too much of it where it took away from the relationship.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
other than that, I'm like, how are they in love? Because like they don't even know each other.
They don't
Like,
know each other. They've
uh-uh.
met each other for like a week or two. I don't know
And
how
then they
much
were
time
together.
passes in this book.
Well, they were
Like,
together for a month on that ship to go back to what is it,
oh,
Bridgeport?
okay. Okay.
But that's that's where this steamy fun times happens. But I'm like, it wasn't really for the most part. He didn't want to talk to her, see her, because
Yeah.
she was temptation. So it's just like he was worn down.
I think he really didn't like her.
I don't know. It's like
There's
I don't know.
just like
Like
there's
you,
and there's a lot of like head hopping to James and George, and all of that could have been put into Warren's perspective because I didn't see him even like Amy at all.
like she's
Like I could see
attractive,
him
but
like
at
think
this,
she's hot,
yeah. Hmm.
but
Nothing about like yeah, like nothing about like her personality or anything like that being together.
or
It's
his
just
personality.
yeah.
Like he literally
But
just showed up, and she was like, "Of the five, bam, eeny, meeny, miny, mo." Oh man, I'm trying to think of what other notes I had. I didn't have that many just because I was just like trying to be like, what is going on here? I do like that she's a bold heroine. Like she definitely like
Yeah,
says what she wants. She
which I
knows what
think
she
is
wants
like
and she's
a
going for it.
yeah, which is like a standard I feel like for Johanna and Lindsey. At least her heroines are gonna be strong heroines. Sometimes they're kind of the conflict that is created is kind of I felt like in Anthony's book was kind of a little you could see the immaturity of the heroine, so it made you not like her as much, even though she, was decisive and things like that. But like in this book, you can still see that with Amy as well. So I think that's why I don't like it as much because it reminded me of was it Rosalind?
Hmm.
Is it for Anthony? So
I
it
think
reminded
that's
me
her. Yeah.
too much of that of the maturity, which her age. So
Hmm.
um, but yeah. So I think that's why like for me, age gaps have to work to where the heroine is mature and she doesn't act her age as like a kid or like so what's it called infantilizing
Hmm.
the heroine, which a lot of that sometimes happens. So because you're like, why? It just gives you an ick feeling if the heroine is infantilized. I can't speak. Infantilized?
Infantilized. Yeah. I
Infantilized.
know what you're
Wow, I can't
saying.
speak. It's a big
Yeah,
word.
it
Okay.
is.
But
He
yeah.
treats her like a baby because she acts like one.
Like
Yeah.
I want the heroines to be treated like a woman. Like
Yeah, because it gives you the ick factor, that creepy ick factor of just like some
hmm
old guy, preying on this little girl when even though the little girl is preying on him, but it's still,
hmm
I
icky.
don't know.
Which I'm like with historicals, age gaps, it's like a common theme. And I'm like, that's the
Mm-hmm.
same way for me for contemporary. Like it has to be believable. The heroine, it's where the heroine has to be believable,
Mm-hmm.
with her age, her maturity level.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's the icky.
Yeah. And this one definitely, I wouldn't recommend it for age gap romance. Anyways, I don't think
Mhm.
it's, I mean, I like you said, I like the characters, but I don't like them together. Like, and I just think that Warren was so underdeveloped. Isn't
Yeah,
that what
like
his
there could
name
have
is? I've
been
already
more.
forgotten.
Yeah,
Warren.
Warren. Yeah, and it was kind of weird. Like you hear like the villainous kind of ex. What I forget what her name was. Was it Marion or something? Um, but and you find out the whole history. It was all because of this childhood rival guy who wanted to ruin his life. And I'm like, and you let it ruin your life, literally over this whole thing. So I'm just like, it was just that was such a weak conflict. It was
And there was
just.
more backstory with her than there ever was with Warren. Period.
Mhm.
In that one little chapter, which wasn't a long chapter at
Yeah,
all, I feel like she went
and
in
it
a
didn't.
very detailed, detailing that whole drama out. And we haven't gotten anything other than this girl broke his heart in the past.
Yeah, and we didn't even like find out why or how his son passed away, or supposedly I think made them believe it was his son. I couldn't remember if it was actually his son or not, but I think it ended up being that it wasn't his son, but they wanted to make him believe it was.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that could have been left out. Like we
I
don't
know it
need
was like
that. Yeah.
we don't need that for the child for no reason. Like
It was
really,
just
right?
thrown
It was
in there. Yeah,
unnecessary.
it wasn't even a plot point whatsoever. It was like casual, very casually mentioned in one of the chapters. And I don't know. Yeah, I could have done without that whole part, but that's okay. It was a very small, like honestly, piece of the book, but
hmm
I don't know. It just added to the poopiness for me. This
Yeah, I'm
wasn't
like
a
this could
bad book. This
it
wasn't a
wasn't
bad book.
because I actually read this pretty quickly, and normally I like to like I'm a slower read. I like to be like slowly reading it and be immersed in the book. And this one I was able to read pretty quickly because it was so fast paced of like all the action, but at the same time I didn't get the satisfaction because it wasn't there with the character. So it just felt
Right,
very surface level. So,
right.
but yeah, the banter was what saved it, I think,
The
for
banter, yeah,
me.
and
hmm
then definitely the part with the ship and beyond, like it felt very fast paced after that point,
hmm
which I like snappy. So yeah, that wasn't bad for me, but it was just like, why? There's no why in this book. There's no why. Why are you even here? Why do you like each other? Why do you want to be here with each other forever? And there's no longing. Like, just don't feel the longing. I just feel like she's like a stalker.
Like the pining, like it was
It's
because I
very
like pining, but I'm
one-sided,
like it was a very one-sided pining, and it was still I don't
and it
know.
was
It
icky.
was it could have been it could have been angsty, but it became a little bit more of oh gosh, what was that like 80s movie? Oh gosh, The Affair to Remember or whatever it was called, where she like stalks him afterwards, like the mistress. I don't know.
I don't remember. I mean,
An
I
80s or
remember that
90s
title, but I
movie.
don't think I ever watched that.
Can't remember what it's called, but like the mistress is like comes across as like stalkery and such after it when he tries to end it or something. I'm like, this
Hmm.
is a little creepy.
A little creepy.
Just smidge. Just a smidge.
Smidge, smidge creepy. He's the hero, and he's a smidge creepy, or she
Well, the
is.
heroine was she is the creepy one.
Yeah, the heroine's the creep. It's like Warren's just like, I'm trying to live my life here. I just want to go to the brothel, have my night out. And
Oh
here
my god.
comes this crazy lady. I don't want to use the word crazy. Here comes this lady. Like, just like
It,
relentless.
it kind of reminds me of like if this was like a fated mates kind of a thing, and where like the fated mate is like, hey, you're my mate, we're fated, and like it's just inevitable. Like, why don't you get with the program kind of a thing? But the other person doesn't know that you're mate. Yeah.
But at least
But
there
it's like
you have some inkling for me that this is
like a
a
bond.
fated mate. Like this is
Yeah,
end
it's supposed to
game
happen.
because this is biology. Our biology is fated to each other. But this is
Mhm.
just like, I don't know. Like she literally, it could have been anyone off the street.
They gave her, he's the one that gave her the butterfly feeling.
Yeah, that guy's hot. He broods a lot.
I mean, I love myself a
Let's
brooding
get
hero, but
married.
that's a lot to put stake on for your future.
You're right. You're right.
Put your
Oh,
eggs all in one basket with that one.
yeah. So even though I didn't love this book, I still enjoyed reading it. Like you said,
Mhm.
it was a fun one, like to listen to. I
Yeah,
think
I didn't.
I read the beginning of it and it was quick.
Yeah, I didn't have the physical copy, so I just got this as an ebook from my library on the Libby app. Um,
Mm. Yeah, I
yeah.
had to
Mhm.
start on an ebook because my script was not giving me the audiobook. Apparently I had reached my max this month. That never happened. And then yesterday I finally got the audiobook. I started it like where I left off. But yeah. Who is the next one? It's called
Um,
it's Say You
say
Love Me.
it's Derek Mallory, so the other cousin, I think,
Okay.
that they was talking about in the beginning of this one. This one it looks like I was reading it, like the blurb, and I'm like, wait, I think I read this one before, way back when. So
Did you?
this look, yeah, I think I liked it. So we'll see if it holds up to a reread.
Ooh. She's gonna allow herself to be sold at auction? What?
I don't know why, but I like that trope.
I
I
don't
don't know
hate it.
why.
I
I
don't
don't
hate
hate
it.
it. I don't know. It's like
I volunteer as tribute. Sell me at the auction.
I'm like, am I like that sound bit? Am I attracted to this?
That was one of the novellas that I was reading. She got kidnapped from, from Earth by alien sex traffickers or women traffickers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she wakes up and she's chained and being walked out naked to this big arena full of aliens. And like there has to be like a gladiator style battle between somebody and this big old monster, and if the somebody wins, he gets to pick from the women.
What?
That was the first chapter.
Let me guess, was there tentacles involved?
There wasn't. It's Zoe Draven. So the aliens are
Okay.
they're just like men, but they're gold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're gold. That's it. And let me see
Oh,
what it's
Lord.
called. I forget. I think it's called the Aliens Prize.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, the Aliens Prize. And
And the aliens, guys.
and
Okay.
she's curvy. She's curvy. She's curvy heroine. So
That's cool.
I was enjoying it. That was just the first chapter I read. I was like, okay, I don't hate this. Because of course
I
at the end of
wonder.
the chapter he like locks eyes with her, and she's like gets the tingles.
See those feelings, the butterfly
I
feelings.
know. Pants it's all about the pants feelings. Oh, I don't know. I don't
Okay.
have anything else to say about the Magic of You. Do you?
No, no, I'm just looking forward to these other books in the series because these ones I remember liking a lot. I don't remember reading The Present, which is the sixth one, but the seventh one, A Loving Scoundrel and Captive of My Desire, I remember reading. So those ones I'm looking forward to. I know I remember reading those like but years ago. So
Okay.
wait, she also does the Horde Kings books, what she's talking about.
Yes, the Horde King books are so good too. Well, I've only read the first one, Captive of the Horde King, but I loved that one too. I think I'd give it 5 stars. It was really good, like really good. And it's another one where she's like, her brother makes trouble, and she volunteers to go back with him, the Horde King, to save her brother. And instead of being just like, I don't know, a slave or something in the Horde, the king wants her to be his queen. And there's like a
Oh,
bit of a, yeah, it's really
she's
good.
only written like all alien romances, right?
Yeah, I think
So
they're all alien romances.
check it out.
Yup.
Is it Captive of the Horde King? Is that the one
Yeah,
you just
Captive
mentioned?
of the Horde King. And then,
I
but
think
the
I
ones
remember
I'm
seeing these
reading now are all novellas.
developed. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
Tiffany from,
let me know how it is.
okay, yeah, Tiffany from Tip Talks Pages. She was talking about it yesterday or the day before that on the novella-thon, readathon they were doing. And I was like, oh, that sounds good. Because I wanted a bonkers alien romance. Should read it with me.
I I'm not
I
much of
just
a
started. I'm
novella
only one chapter
reader.
in.
I'm not much of a novella reader, so you'll have to let me know how it is because it needs to be worth it for me.
Yeah. I've been
Yeah.
reading more of them lately. I didn't normally read novellas because I don't care about the side stories that much. But I've
Hmm.
loved Carissa Broadbent's novellas, at least the one for Six Scorched Roses. That was really good
Hmm.
too. And then some
Yeah,
other
she's
ones
one I
I've
want to
read.
really delve into. I want to delve into her books. I have a feeling I'm gonna love them. So.
Yeah. I feel like some people really like her Daughter of No World series, and then some people really like the other one more.
Well, her most recent one really intrigues me because it has the whole like Hunger Games vibe. So I'm like, count me in.
That's that's my jam.
There's enough said. Like, give me my here's my money. Take my money.
Yeah, like I gave that one Serpent and the Wings of Night 5 stars, and then the other one I gave 4, but it's definitely slower. Like it's slow.
Second book syndrome.
Yeah, that's all I got tonight.
Yeah, me too. I think this one was pretty kind of short, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I have a
the
lot.
book
Yep.
went fast and was short. So
Yeah, fast paced. I have a lot of historical romances I'm gonna be reading this month. So
I am too.
the re
Which ones are you reading? Older ones?
well, I'm gonna Tessa Dare because I'm gonna join that summer of Tessa Dare that Rachel reads and sings. I think is hosting. So I'm like, that's perfect because I want to read more historicals, and Tessa Dare seems to be more the popular current modern authors. And I think I read her very first novel that I read as part of a book club thing, and then I read her most recent one, first three of her most recent series. That's still pending the fourth one. Like it's been a few years. So I read those books. I actually like picked up those books at like a Books a Million one time. Like, ooh, this impulse buy. And that was really good. So looking forward to reading more of her stuff, her
Yeah,
backlist.
they're funny. I've read 4 or 5 of them, I think. The Wallflowers ones, and then I
That's
think
one.
I read the Scott Ties and Knot. Like all her bigger ones, I think I read. And then I think I read one of the novellas again, something about a blacksmith. But I didn't really like that one as much.
Hmm.
But it was still good. Like it was all right. I feel like that's my
Yeah,
thoughts on a lot of things. I don't know if I liked it, but it was still good.
it's okay.
Or the
Yes,
opposite. Like I really liked it, but I didn't like all of it.
I'm like, oh, just a little bit. Yeah, it's gonna be a really busy month. I'm gonna attend my first book signing, hopefully. So we'll
Oh,
see
where are
how
you
that is.
going?
There's like a summer sizzle down in Dayton, Ohio. So I live in
Oh,
Ohio, so I'm like, that's my first closest one I can do.
nice. I haven't gone to one either.
Yeah.
I have tickets for it anyways. Love in
Hmm.
Vegas.
Hmm.
Getting
I've
there
been
might
wanting
be
to.
the other issue to like figure out my flight and hotel still and stuff like that. But I
Yeah,
plan on going.
yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to make that one this year. I was hoping to, but I'm like, maybe we'll plan for better for next year. But it's also around in October, and that's our anniversary. So it's in October.
Mm,
So
yeah, it's right before
yeah.
Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
which
That'll
is
be
fine for me.
good.
I don't do
Okay.
anything.
We're
I'm
pretty
not doing
boring
anything.
here. So. Yep. Next month
Yeah,
is
the
my
only
birthday
problem
month,
with that one
and
is
there's so
that,
much stuff going on.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I said the next month is my birthday month, and so there's so much stuff going on in this month. So especially with Memorial Day and everything. So I'm looking forward
Hmm?
to kind
Next
of
month
ambitious
meaning
TBR.
June or May?
May.
Oh,
Hmm.
May.
I'm a May baby.
You're a May
Jan.
baby. Oh my gosh, my dog's hair is gonna knock. My dog has already broken a
Wait.
glass this weekend with his tail. I'm like holding the tripod. Anyways, we can probably sign off because my family's out here now.
Right? Yep. Sounds good.
I'm sure you can hear my husband sneeze.
Oh wait,
Allergies are awesome.
do we want to schedule our one for next month?
Oh yeah. Okay, next one is going to be. I'm assuming the last Sunday of the month.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
live in the real world where there's allergies and love handles.
Okay.
Right, Leo?
Shush.
We live in the real world, not these weird stereotypes. Men are super
My
awesome.
husband's gonna go off on a tangent now about allergies. Better wrap
Whatever.
this up. You want to do the
Mm.
23rd? Oh no, wait, the 28th?
I don't. Do you have any Memorial Day weekend plans? Because that's the weekend of Memorial Weekend. So
Oh,
You're the star.
not that I
we could do
know
the
of.
we could do the 21st just to make it safe.
Yeah, we could do 21st. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh,
All
I
right.
don't have anything either of those days.
All right.
So let's go.
Sounds good.
Okay. Next one, May 21st, 6 o'clock
And
Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern.
yeah, and it
And
is going to be
apparently it's going to be
say
some
you love
kind of auction.
it's going to be say you love me.
All right. Well, I'll say goodnight here.
All right. Good night.
Thank you for joining us and good night.